Hello and welcome. I'm Mark Wilson and this is Monoculture Film Fatales. Today I will be tackling somewhat of a controversial subject, overrated and underrated beauties of TV and cinema. I'm sure I'm going to upset some of you, but hopefully not everyone. So let's get started. First up is 70s and 80s blonde bombshell Lonnie Anderson. And I've got to say, I just don't get it with those that rate her so highly. I'd go as far as saying she's an odd looking woman. Great body, weird looking face. Sorry, but she's overrated. Pamela Anderson. She didn't even make our viewers' top 20 90s beauties list recently. And that is insane. I'm a lad of the 90s and without doubt, Pam was a juggernaut of the decade and absolutely oozed sex appeal. And, I'll add, before all the work she had done, she was actually a really pretty looking lass as well. 100%, without question, underrated. Blaxploitation legend Pam Grier is up next. And here's where I first upset everybody. She's so overrated, it hurts. Yes, she's an icon of 70s pop culture, and yes, not many can rival her physique. But when it comes to beauty, she's not in the same league as many other black actresses, namely the likes of Jane Kennedy, Halle Berry, and even the likes of Stacy Dash and Ella Balinska nowadays. She's getting the overrated stamp, I'm afraid. Audrey Hepburn graced cinema screens around the world in the likes of My Fair Lady and Breakfast at Tiffany's, and is widely regarded as one of Hollywood's finest beauties. Not for me though. She was immensely talented, but she wasn't one of the greatest beauties, and I'd go as far as saying she was quite plain, to be honest. Occasionally, she looked like a little boy. Anyway, without going too far into pulling her apart, she's overrated. French fancy Sophie Maro stole the heart of admirers in Braveheart before turning up the heat as Electric King in 1999's The World Is Not Enough. And this one is easy. She's underrated. Stunningly, effortlessly beautiful, she doesn't receive the adoration that she deserves. In my opinion anyway. Yellowstone's popular British redhead Kelly Reilly receives tons of support in the polls and many would claim her to be underrated. However, in terms of beauty, although attractive, I'm going to have to say that she's overrated. My apologies to those of you that love her, because this is all subjective, remember. Now, on to another flame-haired actress. It's Lindsay Lohan, who hasn't done her popularity any favours over the years with some of her behaviour. Although, I'd argue there were mitigating circumstances. Nevertheless, when it comes to beauty, there are very few actresses as naturally stunning or oozing as much sex appeal. She's gorgeous and hugely underrated. Next is Charlie's Angel Farrah Fawcett. And I'm going with overrated. But let me explain before you all lynch me. She was attractive and she was iconic. But I'd say at that time, Jacqueline Smith was the most beautiful actress on that show. And in general, during that era, I'd have the likes of Cheryl Ladd miles clear of her. So, I'm categorising her as overrated. Radiant Canadian Ivon Carlo, who played Lily Munster and starred in the likes of The Ten Commandments, is the next beauty to be judged by this muppet. And yes, I am referring to myself. Anyway, this classic beauty is without argument underrated. In my opinion, she is the most beautiful actress from that era, and quite possibly any era. And yet, there are so many actresses from that time period that receive more adulation and hero worship that it's ridiculous. She is without doubt underrated. Strutting her stuff, next is Morgan Fairchild. I honestly can't argue about her physique during her peak years, but I'd insist that she was more attractive the older she got. Her face back in the 70s, 80s just didn't suit her body. And for that reason, she's going down is overrated. She played the legend whose face apparently launched 1,000 ships in Troy, and a German film star turned British spy in Inglourious Bastards. Diane Krueger is comfortably one of Germany's all-time most beautiful actresses, and yet I'd say that she's underrated by both this channel's viewers and film fans in general. And how is that with those sculptured features? Megan Fox has surely got to be one of the most beautiful actresses of the past 25 years. Surely you'd agree. Well, looking back over old polls and taking into consideration her lack of popularity because of rumours of what goes on behind closed doors, etc., that doesn't seem to be the case. Because of this and the fact that prior to messing around with her looks, she was actually jaw-dropping, I'm going to put her down as underrated. But only when she was natural, because the Transformers Megan Fox was second to none. This one's going to be quick because I never actually got it with her admirers. Julia Roberts, even in Pretty Woman, never did it for me. Then there was that airy armpits thing. Nope, absolutely not. Definitely overrated. Emphatically overrated. I think I've made my point. So we come to Jada Pinkette, or Pinkette Smith if you prefer. Yes, she's seriously unpopular and a pretty horrible person by all accounts, but during the 90s and in movies such as Menace to Society, she was ridiculously cute. So I'm going underrated. Go on, tear me apart in the comments. Right, we come to Colombian bombshell Sophia Vergara. Undoubtedly sexy with an outrageous physique, but I'm going to be controversial. She's not for me, and once again it's the face. Maybe because she's messed about with it. Anyway, anyone who watches this channel knows that I prefer natural, understated beauty, in most cases anyway. So Sophia is overrated. Now to another Sophia, and this time it's Italian classic legend Sophia Loren, who is another actress that I can understand people being attracted to, but for me she's not in the same league as Gina Lollobrigida or modern Italian stun gun Monica Bellucci, and therefore I've got to go with overrated. I might have upset you a few times already, but now I'm really going to upset you. Black Widow and the Island star Scarlett Johansson is up next, and I'm going with overrated. Don't get me wrong, she is attractive and she was actually stunning in The Island, but she's spoken of as if she's one of the most beautiful actresses ever, and she isn't. So for that reason, overrated it is. I mentioned her earlier. Stacy Dash is the next actress to add her name to this list. But which way am I going? Underrated or overrated? Oh, am I kidding? She's underrated. She was gorgeous in the 90s and she's arguably even better looking now. She's red hot. Up next is Twilight star Kristen Stewart, who has also starred in the likes of 2019's Charlie's Angels and Seabird. And I can understand why some people would find her attractive, especially if they are fans of those movies. But for me, she's a tad overrated. What more can I say? And I end the video with the legendary Marilyn Monroe, and therefore with a contentious opinion. She's overrated. The classic blonde bombshells just don't do it for me, unless you're talking Anita Hepburn. Then it's a different matter. Sorry, Marilyn Monroe fans.